the inside story on the issues that affect you and your community. This is Local 12 Newsmakers.
Good morning and welcome to Local 12 Newsmakers. I'm Dan Hurley. Dreams are essential to life. We hold up the American dream all the time, measuring our national situation against a loose collection of ideals that has been constructed across 3 centuries. Dreams are important, even essential for individuals as well. Without the ability to articulate our dreams for ourselves or our children, we would lack the motivation to set goals or formulate plans to reach those goals. But some people lose their belief that it is okay to dream and end up plodding through periods of their life without goals or plans. One local business person is so convinced of the importance of dreaming and dreams that she and her husband have created a position of dream manager in their company. That effort has been written about in a book entitled The Dream Manager by Matthew Kelly. This morning I am joined by the focus of that book, the originator of the Dream Manager concept as a business tool. Mary Miller is the CEO, and along with her husband Tony, the owner of Jancoa Janitorial Services. Tony founded Jancoa back in the early 1970s, and today the company employs 300 people, has annual sales of $10 million. Mary is also a coach and a very popular speaker with a national following, although she'll want to deny that. Thank you, Mary, for being here this morning. This is actually a topic I've had on my list for like 2.5 years, and so we've known each other for a while. Whatever got you to the point in a business environment of saying, I need to think about what my employees are, what their dreams are? Whatever sparked you, got you to that?
Oh, Dan, I would love to tell you that I woke up with this wonderful dream of euphoria and say, wouldn't it be nice just to help our employees go after their dreams? But in all honesty, it was, and I had the opportunity to meet Tom Peters a few years ago, and he asked me the same question. He had come across the book, and the old saying that necessity is the mother of all inventions, and it was, for us, for Tony and I, we were in desperation mode. You know, we were at a point where we had hired a consultant to come and help us improve our business. We wanted to build a business. We own a commercial cleaning company here, and we wanted to build it to make it better, to improve our processes and efficiency. So we hired a consultant. And the second day the consultant was with us, we had a short contract for him to come to our business and work with us side by side. And the second day in the contract, he came into our office and he fired us. He said he couldn't help us. We had a people problem. And he left. And Tony and I looked at each other and we're like, what do we do now? And we really had to take a look at what...
So, I mean, he came in and then he left. He didn't sit down and talk to you about this.
No, he came in. The first day he came to town, and him and Tony and I sat down and we had this grand plan for the week of what was going to happen. And the first night, him and Tony went out, and I was excited. They went out and looked at a couple of the buildings that we were going to focus on and take a look at what we were going to do for our processes and that. And the next day we had a meeting set up with Tony and the consultant and I. And when they came in, and the consultant had a suitcase with him, and I'm like, something's wrong here. This doesn't look right. And he comes in, and I said, so what's going on? And the consultant's name was Bob, and Bob looks at his watch and said, I've got a flight at 4 o'clock. Can you take me to the airport, or do I need to call a taxi? I'm like, we're supposed to be here all week. And he says, Mary, what Tony and I figured out last night, and I just assumed you guys talk, is I can't help you. You guys have a people problem, and you need to fix your people problem before you can look at your processes.
So what was the people problem?
We didn't have enough people.
We didn't have enough people.
We didn't have enough people. We were 30 full-time people short. We had already switched from the part-time model to full-time people. What we found out is part-time people came to work part of the time. And that's hard to get the work done. In our business, we started 6 p.m. and we needed to be done before people came to work at 6 in the morning. You know, like the Keebler's Elves. We got to make sure that everything's done before people came to work in the morning. And it's really hard to do if you don't have enough people to work. And what happened is that consultant ended up vacuuming all night. And that's what he said he wasn't hired to do. And so we really had to take a look at what we needed to do different. And that was something that we had vacuums and cleaning supplies, and we just didn't have enough people to be able to get the work done.
Is it that you couldn't hire them or that you couldn't keep them?
We were hiring 50 people a month, and we were doing background checks and drug tests, and I kept thinking, what can we do? And Tony says, we need to hire more people, and I knew that was expensive. So we were going to the bookstores and we were finding books on how to find people, how to keep people, and I kept thinking of that song from Barbra Streisand, people who need people are the luckiest people in the world, but I wasn't feeling very lucky at all. So we really just started asking different questions. What did we have to do different to attract people who want to work in our industry? In an area with over 2 million people, there surely had to be enough people that wanted to work in our industry, and we wanted to attract the best people who wanted to work in our industry to work for Jancoa. So what did we have to do to attract those people? What did we have to do to train them so they knew what was expected of them? So we really had to do some different things. So this was back in the late 90s. And the